Right, I've spent a bit of time on it between now and when I signed off the part one. So I'm just adding the highlights and I need to bring some of these fronds up. Well, it's not quite according to the model, but I've mixed some of this white with some of that texture paste that I mentioned. It's very thick. You know, we need to get those sort of symmetry. We lost a bit of symmetry. Those are a bit long for those now. So that's got a bit murky there. I've got a bit of this texture paste here. You see that? With a bit of white. So it's just thickening up the brush strokes. Catching the light. I'm just using this old worn out brush to do this. Wouldn't say it's my best effort. Well, but it's going quite pleasing. We've got petals coming from this flower up over that one. But they don't show white against white. It's a bit of a hide into nothing really. I'm going to show it by painting the petals behind dark. Put some more white out. Just plaster it on. I'll put some shadows behind there. Really nice thick paint from them, and then coming around there. But really ladling it on. Oops, we start with a bit of green there. And just get this to the end, catching the light. And I'll put some shadow on. And just the tips of these, just catching the light. A bit of highlight. Right, okay. I think Vincent went mad doing this, didn't he? I've never ever done this. So I'm using bits of my dark, I'm mixing a bit of the viridian, bit of alizarin into the yellow to give me my dark greens in all this. Look. So I get that round. They are round, so I need to show them round. So we just put that in there. Right, go back to the darks. a bit of virgin out. Mr. Virgin, there it is. Great colour, great mixture for greens is virgin. And then with white it becomes quite spectacular. Right, look, there's my palette. I can't hold it up, otherwise it'll fall off. It'll probably not on my lap like usual. Right, that's a nice dark greeny colour, so let's just put that in. So I just I've done with perfection here. I'm not doing photographic likenesses. We'll just put a bit in there. On that. So that would be a bit of a foil for the white to go over. Clean the brush. I've started my shadow here, but what I want to do, I'll use a rigger, well, sort of rigger. This is a frond here, so I'm going to paint it with white and a bit of green and a burnt sienna white, because it's an old stem, so we'll have that coming around here, and have some green, light, very light green in here and up on here, and underneath we'll put a bit of shadow. Now my shadow for this is alizarin and viridian and a bit of white. So a very nice warm. Not going to show, is it? In there, so that's okay. Oops, I was waiting in the brush in the water, but it wasn't in the water. Right, now highlights. I can see the window shining there. And it comes down there on the shape. We've got a bit of highlight here. Catch in. Let's put that. That'd be a better colour, I think. Now we've got those rusty reds. I think it's Lucifer's Claw or Devil's Claw, Cosmosia or something like that. You know what I'm like for. So I want a rusty flower because it's just past its best. Well, if actually past its best, it's fallen off. Bit of green in there, bright green. I've got white on my jeans. I'm wearing shorts and I've got white, yellow ochre, all sorts as well. I forgot to put my smock on. Right, now that will be showing a bit of shadow. Gets lost into the general murk of the shadow from the pot, and then a bit of, I can't see too much because it's coming that way, but let's just put some in there. Oops. I'll use a heavier brush for that, I think. I'll just try to put in this shadow, cast shadow here. Right, I'll put another one here, which is sort of coming up here, and it's dark, so a bit of black with the old red there. So it shows up against the pot, light against dark, so this is sort of down there, and a bit of red on there. Bit of orange there. Right, let's come in with some of these reds now. We're just going to put a bit of shadow in some of those, just letting that dry a bit. Yeah, we need these reds here. You mix red with a bit of the yellow to get a lovely orange, and got some orange in this. It lightens the red as well. So we're just these are actually darker reds because they're just buds. But that's oh, go away. Did you see that? These are the claws. So don't lighten your reds with white, you just get pink. But just lighten it with yellow. You can a bit of texture paste in there as well. Just that flash of light. Right, back to the white. Put the brush down. Oh, that green. Need the green. For the stem. Of that left part. Go lighter. Now, there is a green leaf in there, but I don't think I'm going to put that in. Right, I want to put in the shadows of some of these behind. Oh, this paint's drying so quick. So we'll got these coming across here. Very important, these shadows. Right, I don't think I'm going to get much more change out of that. So white. Just putting some real heavy impasto now. Apologies to all the flower painters out there. Just want that to show as a highlight. Right, I think any more than that I'm going to kill it. Nothing too obvious that I can see, so I'll put a signature on it. We've got the shadow here. We've got a bit of dark here. There's quite a bit of light on this actually. So, sign it. Sign it in white. Nothing too obvious. Move that, otherwise my elbow's going to be in it. My age. Okay, let's put it in a mound. Let's just peel those off. But you doing this to your paper, it gives it a frame anyway. But I want to put the blue mount on it. Since we've got a lot of blue in it. Well, I don't know about you, I really enjoy doing that. It's about the best I can do with it. Let's pull those out. Put those off. And them out. And they need to come up there, don't we? Right, let's just clip it at the top. Oops. Okay. One in there. One in there. And there we have part 2 of 2. So I don't think there's a... Oh, well, no, yes, right, there is. That red should be behind the petal. So let's do that forthwith. Oh, it's getting a bit murky outside. Oh, let's, right, okay. See what that looks like. Well, I don't reckon that looks too bad. Let's zoom in first. Just go around. See the pot. The shadow on the bottom here. This bit is lighter than that bit. That I can't. Well, that's as long as I'm going to spend on it. We've got the devil's claw flowers, and we've got just a bit of a dead one down here. I could fiddle about and show that a bit darker, but I think as a demonstration, I don't think we're too far wrong there. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe back to landscape tomorrow. if I've got time. Right, okay. Bye bye.